All right, now, Trump was on Greg Kelly and literally, and then they did an interview. Sorry, and he's looking fabulous. He doesn't at all look like Fat Elvis at this point. You could. I think that there's a reason why a bunch of some like redneck fan base of Trump's. Why is this? I gotta shrink this down. Command. There you go. And he looks. By the way, can I just say, Trump apparently hates that painting of himself. You know that one that he was like, ugh. Trump painting hates whatever. Okay. Yeah, here. Shit. This is the I gotta say, if I may, I kind of nailed it. I mean, what are you gonna do? I mean, this is like I know you hate it, asshole. This is the picture that he hates. He hates looking at it. He hates people seeing it. It's the Streisand painting. Yeah, pretty much right there. As a matter of fact, his face seemed to have been getting slimmer, probably the Ozempic during this time. But now, and maybe he's stress eating again, his cheeks are blimping up to the point where he's matching the painting again. I mean, it's pretty dead on. He hates that picture. I'm going to need to make a pop-up of that, clearly. All right. And also, I want to say Steve Witkoff brought back a painting of Trump from Russia. And I hope to God somebody in the NSA is ignoring Mike Waltz and taking a fucking bug detector to that thing. Not that they're going to hear anything, just him farting and yelling Diet Coke and Stephen Miller trying to say, you're a genius, boss, with his mouth full.
Mr. President, it is great to see you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. You happy?
Hi. You happy to see me? I missed you. You're the best. I don't know what I would do if you weren't here with me. I don't even have that one anymore, do I? Nope. Heck, I need you. I'm gonna mess without you. I miss you so damn much. Oh,
I don't.
yeah.
But happy. I'm thrilled to be here. We're going to make this a much better country that's suffered greatly over the last 4 years. Like no.
Yeah, no, we haven't. Especially not compared to other countries.
Can believe with the border and with the inflation and with all of the horrible things that took place. But we're going to make it great. We had a tremendous 2 months, and I think we're going to make it back where we had it and beyond.
President Trump,
Back where we had it and beyond. So worse than COVID. Awesome. Here we go.
ask you about something that I think the American people don't know enough about, and that is
and that is math. Can you explain? I mean, algorithm is such a big. I mean, it sounds like it belongs in music, but it can be very confusing to people.
attack on you in Butler, Pennsylvania, and the follow-on attack in West Palm Beach. This is something that
I'd like to remind you of your mortality in front of you, just in case it makes you, I don't know, prime to someone and feel like they're like the son you never had.
He said publicly in a video. He said, in our nation's 246-year history, there has never been an individual who is a greater threat to our republic than Donald Trump. He said that in a campaign video for his daughter. His daughter has said equally horrendous things to me.
So that's why a Republican shot at him. I got you. Okay. So is that, you think that's his reasoning? You think, whoops, move this over here, you weirdo. Oh no, move out of the way. Continue. Okay.
It's an invitation, quite frankly, to somebody in or out of government to do something bad to you.
Yeah, especially a Republican who would listen to Dick Cheney.
That is possibly a crime, but overall, we don't know enough about.
No, you can be a threat to our democracy without being a material violent threat. You know what I mean? That's again, it's like saying what's a good example? Like inflation is probably the biggest threat to our overall economic health in the long term, and is the one thing that could eat our our economy, more so than debt or whatever, right? You could make that case. It's in that realm.
Happened. How do you feel about that? Was it possibly government involvement?
Well, we don't know, but
Yeah, we do. First of all, she was a congressperson, and then she wasn't. And then Dick Cheney isn't vice president. So, and he was a Republican.
when I hear a statement like that from a guy that got us into spending think of it, they spent billions and billions, almost $1 trillion in the Middle East, blowing up everything, killing people.
Almost $1 trillion? Almost. Try 7.
Over the place, engendering tremendous hatred. What a mess. And then just leave. We leave with.
Yeah, why wouldn't they stay president? Why wouldn't he just, I mean, if you're in there and you've got this war going, why would you ever leave office? Oh, right. Term limits.
Nothing. And he got us in along with Bush. It was one of the worst decisions ever made in the history of our country.
Well, at least we agree Republicans suck.
I hear a guy like that make that statement. And, you know, I did something that he couldn't do. He had a certain person that worked for him that they didn't take proper care of.
Scooter Libby?
Scooter Libby. And Scooter Libby was very badly treated by him and Bush. And he took a fall for them, frankly, and they didn't take care of him.
So sorry, you were against what they did in the Middle East that cost us a lot of blood and treasure, and your answer was to pardon one of the main people involved in it.
I didn't do it for him. I did it because Scooter Libby was treated very unfairly.
No, he was fair. Would have been they would have gotten the same thing. Not he didn't get anything at all.
When I hear that stuff, and then the daughter goes out, she runs for office in a state that they virtually owned, and she loses by the largest margin in the history of Congress. You know that? The largest margin, like 44 or something.
Or something in a primary, and also the state has like less than 1 million people in it.
And they've got to screw loose. They've got to screw loose.
About a month ago or so, you said they were going to brief you on what happened, what they know, the investigation. Yeah. Has that happened? Is there anything you can share with us? And maybe.
Yeah, it's only been a month, Greg. Okay.
Should be a commission. Maybe there should be something else.
So it is. It has happened, and they don't seem to think there was anything other than abnormal people.
Okay, sure. So I'm glad we covered it then. What more could you ask for? I guess. So that's it. That's what you're gonna get, Greg. They looked into it. Sorry, just a crazy dude, lone gunman. Nothing to see here. Greg Kelly, ladies and gentlemen, a disappointment not just to Trump but to himself as well.
And I'll assume that's true. They do have.
Can we call him Peg Kelly? Ouch.
A case coming up. A case that a lot of people don't.
Wouldn't it be Pegged Kelly? I don't know. I'm not here to yuck anybody's yum.
But it's coming up. Really, sort of a third case, I guess you'd say. And so we'll see how that one works out. But, you know, it's a dangerous profession being president. If you look, race car drivers, think of this, 1/10 of 1%. Bull riders, 1/10 of 1%. Presidents, I won't tell you the number, but it's big. Yeah. It's a dangerous profession. Why didn't you tell me this? You could have told me this, please.
It's a nice thing to joke about, I guess. No other president felt the need to do it, but I would also like to point out that that's a per capita issue.
And you know, when you say per capita, there's many per capitas. It's like per capita relative to what?
There's just been a lot fewer presidents. So, and a lot of them, by the way, were killed when we didn't have things like the Beast and we didn't have the capabilities we have now, modern technology being what it is.
This would-be assassin crooks had apps that they can't.
Yeah, like Signal. Who the fuck uses Signal? Clearly criminals.
Into foreign, sophisticated.
Telegram.
Let's face it, the national security team was using Signal. And I know you just spoke about that. Yeah. Are you concerned, number one, about anybody on your national security team keeping in touch with a guy like Jeffrey Goldberg? So it suggests that perhaps they've been.
Greg, oh, wait. Let me clear something up real quick. May I? Greg is jealous. That's what this all wraps up. This isn't, oh my God, someone was privy to a national security discussion that could have gotten our soldiers killed. No, Greg was like, a reporter got invited and it wasn't me. Damn it. Is Brian Glenn the other Brian? I knew it. Son of a bitch.
To him. Yeah. It suggests, it doesn't guarantee that, but that seemed kind of weird.
Yeah, Goldberg's bad news. It's the Atlantic. It's failing. It's probably going to be out of business soon.
No, even if it was on its way down, you've basically given it a lifeline. Dum-dum.
And it's a terrible magazine. They made up all sorts of stories about me with standing over the grave of soldiers. There's nobody that treats the military better than me, and they treat me
because Congress puts those things through.
Well, too. They showed that in the election, but they
also. This is his soft way of pretending that he's the one who signed the VA Choice Act of 2014, which Obama signed.
They write stories. It's such a disgrace. And there are plenty of others also. But Goldberg's a loser. His magazines.
Yes, he's a loser. He's dangerous. He's stupid. He hates America. He's the lowest of the low. He's scum, pig, dog, scummy person. And your dude invited him to a top secret chat.
Loser. And what it was, we believe, is somebody that was on the line with permission, somebody that was with Mike Waltz, worked for Mike Waltz at a lower level.
Staff. Okay, so this is where Jesse Water got it from, watching Greg Kelly's reporting?
Had, I guess, Goldberg's number or called through the app, and somehow this guy ended up on the call. Now, it wasn't classified, as I understand it. There was no classified information.
As I understand. Did Tulsi Gabbard teach you how to say, like, the plausible deniability stuff?
Every minute you don't tell us why you're here, I cut off a finger.
Mine or yours?
Yours.
Damn.
No problem, and the attack was a tremendous success.
Because Jeffrey Goldberg didn't tip him off.
I can only go by what I've been told. I wasn't involved in it, but I was told.
Yeah, you don't know. You know, last to know. Plausible deniability.
And the other people weren't involved at all. But
sorry, what?
I never thought anybody could forget so much so fast without a severe blow to the head.
You what?
Attack was a tremendous success. So I can only go by what I've been told. I wasn't involved in it, but I was told by, and the other people weren't involved at all. But I feel very comfortable, actually.
Sorry. The other people, I'm sorry, was Jeffrey Goldberg and Hegseth just alone on this fucking chat? What are you talking about? What does that even mean?
So I can only go by what I've been told. I wasn't involved in it, but I was told by, and the other people weren't involved at all.
I presume he means everyone else in the world who wasn't on the chat, minus everyone in his national security and IC team and Jeffrey Goldberg. But everyone else, presumably, I hope, including the Houthis, were not in on the call. It was a party line. It was just a bunch of people like, you know, hey, 976 hangout. You calling tonight? I don't know why I'm using the old fashioned ring phone, but fuck it. Maybe that's I'm at my grandmother's and she still has it. What are you guys doing tonight? We're making buttermilk. Crazy. It's a 1935 party. Sorry.
I feel very comfortable, actually.
You were on the phone.
Great. So the chair's working out. You don't feel like you're going to fall off of it or anything?
Hey, in the golf club, you were on a hard line. Are you concerned? Hey, no more signal. Or actually,
well, I like hard lines, but the best way is to be.
Sorry, you do?
I like wood.
You like hard lines, do you, buddy? That's the story. All right, we're sticking to it.
Well, actually,
you were on the phone that day in the golf club. You were on a hard line. Are you concerned? Hey, no more signal. Or actually,
well, I like hard lines, but the best way is to be in the Situation Room or some other room where you're all together.
Yeah, some other room. You know, like the dining room on Little House on the Prairie, a basement at Little St. James Island. You know, places that he's comfortable.
You don't have anytime you have a line, whether it's air or whether it's hard. There's
um, yeah. Airlines are something totally different. An airline is not what we call traditionally a cell phone. Yeah. Airline, whether airline or hard.
altogether where you don't have, anytime you have a line, whether it's air or whether it's hard, there's
Oh my God.
a risk that people are listening.
One more thing on
There is, yeah, I have a problem. People listening in on airlines. I mean, you can barely hear it over the hum of the plane and the crying baby, but you know, pretty close, I guess. Hold on. This is the we have a we're using an airline right now, so that this is covering the sound of the talking, so that no one can. Yeah, great. Shit, he's gone. Don't say anything top secret until another airline goes overhead, because then people can hear us. Now, oh, good. So we're going to hit the Houthis in about 2 hours. 2 hours. I'll write it down. Son of a bitch. Just show this to him. Oh my God, the note blew away. Motherfucker. And scene.
is it possible that doing business through a secure line, even on a cell phone, is so cumbersome?
Yeah, cell phone. That's what this means now. Cell phone. It means shaka brother ganja. Also means cell phone. Cell phone, brother. Ah, excellent. Cell phone to you too. Hey, aloha, cell phone.
I've heard it can be very, very difficult,
Right.
almost difficult on purpose. You know, they were leaking, the intelligence community was leaking on you during the first term.
Yeah.
Is this a way around that, perhaps?
Sorry, your entire intel team is using signal to whisper behind your back. Now, I don't know if you look at what the vice president said, Pegged Kelly might be onto something.
You got to have the right people. You know, we had some people that I inherited and that were recommended by rhinos or others. And the
And now you got the best of the best. That's how you got this scandal.
is I gained a lot of experience in that first term, and we have wonderful people now. We have tremendous people. That's why when you look at what's happening with the economy, how well we're doing, even the prices. You know, when I came in, everyone was complaining about eggs, the cost of
Yeah, fucking eggs. And now we're buying eggs from Turkey to drive down the wholesale price, even though the consumer price hasn't gone down. But fuck them. We're using the producer price and just pretending.
I said, I've been here a week. They were trying to blame me, and I was here a week. And, you know, they're down almost
You said you could do it immediately.
50%. And there's plenty of them. I mean, they've done an amazing job. My people have done an amazing job.
You mean Biden administration months ago culling a bunch of chickens and then them growing up and it taking about 8 to 10 months to start producing eggs again? When a chick grows up into a chicken that can actually make eggs. How long is it? Somebody in the chat knows. Hold on. How long? Let's see. How old does a chicken need to be to make eggs? 18 weeks. Sorry, it's not even that fast. 18 weeks. Yeah, it's about okay. That's not, so last fall, right? Okay.
About the price of groceries and how
Yes, groceries.
expensive it was. And I campaigned on it, in all fairness. I haven't used the word grocery. It's like an old-fashioned word.
No, it isn't.
Really, it's not. And people understand it. And
What? And by the way, you do realize this is you being out of touch, right? This is only an elite would say the word groceries. Oh, Charles, listen to this. Yes, Edna wants the weekend off. Yes, because she's got something wrong with her leg, apparently. And her mother is incapacitated and needs someone to go out and pick up, oh, it's adorable, groceries for the family. You don't say. Oh, yes, groceries. What's involved in that? Do you carry them in a bag?
campaigned very hard on groceries. And
Hard on groceries. That's the name of my punk band.
they're coming down very much. If you look at your gasoline prices, it's really coming down tremendously. And that's bringing other prices down with it. So
No, No, it's not.
And I have really great people, but it
Notice he's talking about his economic team. I mean, in his defense, Scott Bessent was on this fucking signal thread for some unknown fucking reason other than, I guess, trade.
took a period of time. You know, I never did this before. Remember, I was a real estate guy from New York. I wasn't a Washington, D.C. person, so I didn't know a lot of people in Washington.
Yeah, but you said the people in Washington didn't know how to do anything. And you know, all the best people were in New York, the business people, the smartest people from the academic world and from the business world. And you would bring those people to Washington and clean everything up. You didn't need anybody locally because you knew hashtag the best people.
And when I came here, I had to rely on on others. And by the way, I had some
On the old man's money. You can rely on the old man's money.
people. I got the largest tax cuts in history. I got the largest
No, he didn't.
regulation cuts in history. I rebuilt our military.
This is sad when Greg realizes he's watching a rerun.
They shouldn't have given a lot of it to a place called Afghanistan in one of the dumbest, worst days or periods of time in the history of our country. I think.
Yes, days or periods of time. It's kind of like how you interpret the Bible. Yom in the original text of the Bible can mean a day, but it can also mean a millennium. So arguably, God could have created the earth in 6 billion days and then rested in the 7th billion. He's been resting this entire time, which explains a lot.
The most embarrassing period of time in the history of our country, but
yeah, especially the period where you ran on getting us out and you didn't.
They shouldn't have given so much, but
I'm sorry, how much did you give during your presidency? You were there for 4 fucking years. It ended under Biden.
Some great people, but I had some people that I wouldn't have used. Now I have a team that's really fantastic, and I think you see.
Yeah, we can tell they're doing a bang up fucking job.
Results. We have Apple is going to spend $500 billion. The biggest chip maker is going to spend fortunes. I mean, just fortunes of money coming out of Taiwan. We have
because of the Biden administration, the CHIPS Act, and because national security points to the fact that we need chips made in the States. So the seed money was given to under that. We know this.
Steel plants being built at levels we've never seen anything like it. And
yeah, we have far better, actually, especially in the early days before we started outsourcing them to drive the cost of cars down.
Going up fast. Honda just announced they're building in Indiana, one of the biggest. And
yes, it'll employ all of 17 people once it's built.
Nation's doing really well. And a lot of that's the results of November 5th. And a lot of it is also the tariffs.
No one has.
What tariffs?
And I'll have to get back to the tariffs, but if you don't mind, no one has spoken as boldly and with as much truth as you about Ashli Babbitt.
Oh my God. Yes. Greg is convinced Ashli Babbitt was his dream girl, and if they'd have just gotten together, they could have been happy if the townsfolk hadn't driven them out.
It was a bad shooting. My father can tell you that, anybody.
It's a terrible thing.
I don't know if you know this, but the Department of Justice right now is still kind of fighting that case. The family of Ashli Babbitt is suing the government wrongfully.
Fuck them, fuck her. No. Dude, there's video of her bashing a window and crawling through. She had a knife in her bag. She was with armed people. She was the first one through the breach. She saw the guy with the gun. They all knew there was a person guarding the gun on the other side, guarding the wall with a gun on the other side because there was fucking glass. They were smashing it. They pulled the cops in front of it because they figured it was barricaded and none of these assholes would actually go through it. And then they did. She had a knife. She didn't comply. And to use the phrases that they like to throw around.
The DOJ right now officially is still opposing that law.
Yeah, because it was a good shooting. It's sad. And her death is Trump's fault. She had agency as a human being, but she was clearly spun, and Trump wound her the fuck up and gave her permission in her mind to attack members of Congress.
Trying to justify it.
What if we found out, I'm just going to float this for a second. Think about this while you're napping. What if we found out that Ashli Babbitt was the bomber? What if we found out that's who that was? That, like another blonde we think is walking around. What if that's why They haven't gone further into it because case fucking closed.
Shouldn't that be something that can just be settled at this point?
Well,
Oh, can't you just give her family their money because her sister looks kind of like her and she promised me dinner if...
into that, I mean, you're just telling me that for the first time. I haven't heard that. I'm a big fan of Ashli Babbitt, okay? And Ashli
Yeah, huge. Got all her albums.
Babbitt was a really good person who was a big...
No, she was not. She broke into the Capitol. She joined a crowd in beating police. She stepped over the blood-stained tile in the Capitol to gain entry. And then when they busted a hole through that wall, that barricaded door, she punched a dude in the face so she could be first through the breach. If she'd have let him go, he'd have died. Now, I got to tell you something. If Ashli Babbitt had not punched that dude and gone through the glass first, there'd be two people that would have been shot that day because the dude would have gone through, he'd have gotten shot. And then she would have, because she's fucking bananas, would have tried to go through a second time like, oh my God, you motherfucker, and gone through, and she would have died too. She arguably saved that guy's life by punching him in the face.
A MAGA fan, Trump fan, and she was innocently standing there. They even say trying to...
Innocently standing there. Wait, she was what? And then, hold on, I want to hear the tail end of this. What fucking...
And she was innocently standing there. They even say trying to sort of hold back the crowd.
No, they don't. No, they don't at all, ever. No one ever said that. She wouldn't have. If she'd have survived the fucking bullet wound, she would go, fuck you, dude. I was fighting for America. I was trying to get through that door. I was going to kill fucking, I don't know, AOC or somebody and like wear fucking Nancy Pelosi's skin. There's video, you dumb motherfucker.
And a man did something to her that was unthinkable when he shot her.
No, it was very thinkable. As a matter of fact, if you're in that situation, you're like, I should probably think about this because that guy's pointing a gun in our way. And if I try to get through this door, he might use it because he's justified. I am trying to break through a barricaded door where unarmed public servants are on the other side of it with a group of people who are screaming, who have built a fucking gallows outside. Of course, it's justified.
And I think it's a disgrace. I'm going to look into that. I did not know that.
Yeah, have fun. Yeah, tell you what, go to look. It's right on Pam Bondi's desk, right under the Epstein files.
And the officer who shot her, Michael Byrd, is still on duty. They gave him a raise and they gave him a medal and I believe a promotion.
I think it's a disgrace.
He's a federal...
Why? Why do you think it's a disgrace? And by the way, if you think it's a disgrace, then I guess anybody can just bust into the White House. I don't recommend this. Bust in through the White House. Just come in. As long as you come in through a fucking window, it's okay.
Would you or could you do something about
I'm going to
that?
take a look at it. I'm going to look
Bullshit. Bullshit, Greg. Stop.
at that too. His reputation was, I won't even say, let's find out about his reputation, okay?
Because you don't know. You're just trying to suck up to fucking Greg because you need him.
To find out. But I watched that and I saw that. And by the way, she was killed, but nobody else was killed.
Roseanne Boylan was stomped to death while she was having having an overdose. Oops. Let's see. I think that's her name. Roseanne Boylan. Oh, that's the hold on. Snip the Fanon, the QAnon monsters and martyrs. I'm trying to find like an article on it. Shows moment woman was yeah. Let's see. I'll just put the reader version on this. Hold on. Because I don't want to show the video. Disturbing body cam video shows moment woman was trampled to death in Capitol mob. The woman was identified as 34-year-old Roseanne Boylan, one of 4 Trump supporters who died in the riots. 4. Newly released body cam video shows the moment a woman was trampled to death during the assault on the U.S. Capitol earlier this month. A desperate friend pleaded for the mob of rioters to back off. "She's dead. I need somebody. She's dead," the friend screamed amid the chaos. The woman was identified as 34-year-old Roseanne Boylan of Georgia. She was one of 4 Trump supporters who died in the riots. The 5th death during the insurrection was that of the police officer killed after fire extinguisher was thrown at his head. He died stroke. That's the one they fight back on, whatever. That Boylan's brother-in-law was a former host of the HGTV show Groundbreakers. "It's my own personal belief that the president's words incited a riot that killed 4 of his biggest fans." Meanwhile, the Washington Post obtained videos of the suspect wanted for planting 2 pipe bombs. The footage shows him. That's interesting. You're off the you're off the hook, Marge. Walking with a backpack. Da da da. Okay. It says media removed because I blocked that thing. Roseanne Boylan was trampled to death, and she was on amphetamines the day. Oh, this is 2 years ago. All right. I was shown a video of Roseanne Boylan dying. I talked to a man who's Jan 6 suspended, giving her CPR. This is when Marge was talking about shit, going, "Jan 6 defenders were abused because of the color of their skin. This is anti-white bigotry." Describe political prisoners. We've been accused of saying some video. Yeah, here we go. I was shown a video of Roseanne Boylan dying. I talked to a man who was a Jan 6 defendant giving her CPR before demanding public release of the video of her death. Some video of Boylan's death has been released. However, the New York Times some months ago published a full shot-by-shot breakdown of how she died based on a publicly available footage. Gomer pushed yet another conspiracy theory popular on the right. They're going to charge someone with insurrection. It's beginning to sound more and more like those who would be agents for the federal government that were they're stirring things up, trying to get people to engage in violence. So maybe she's not even dead. Maybe Ashli Babbitt, was a squib, and Greg, you're opening up an enigma trapped in a puzzle, locked in a Minecraft mod.
The people that went down there, they had no guns. They didn't have guns.
One dude had an entire truck full. Weapons presence. Firearms, tasers, knives, some of the types of weapons used and carried on and around Capitol grounds by rioters, according to the U.S. Attorney's Office of the District of Columbia, which published the status of prosecutions related to the Capitol attack. For example, police found a loaded handgun on Christopher Alberts, who was dressed in body armor and carrying a gas mask. Reuters reported. Shall we jump over to there and see that motherfucker? Arrested Capitol rioters had guns, bombs, everyday careers, and Olympic medals. They brought. Look, these are the rounds. Look at this fucking drum mag this motherfucker had. View of ammunition, magazines, and accessories in possession by Cleveland Grover Meredith Jr. after law enforcement searched his hotel room on January 7th after the Capitol storming in Washington. So he brought all this shit, and he brought his gun to the White House. But I guess this was for round 2. They'd be able to go back and reload. Federal prosecutors said they expect to bring charges against hundreds of people involving in the riot related to threats of violence. David Blair, a Trump supporter who lives in Washington suburbs, was charged with attacking a police officer with a stick. Came to the Capitol after seeing it had been overrun by a mob supporting the president because he wanted to, quote, witness history. I ended up still finding a way to get in trouble because I had so much pent-up emotion. Sealed cases and scant details. People are going to be shocked by some of the egregious conduct that happened in the Capitol, Sherwin said. I know this one has pictures. These are older articles, so they're harder to hunt down. But point being is there were guns. There were multiple guns. There was a guy with a whole truckload of fucking guns. Remember the guy who, killed himself, was it? Let's see. January 6th, rioter commits suicide, truck, something like that. Capital Rebellion. Trump supporters. Okay. Release top steel. Kevin Creason, 55. Benjamin Phillips, 50. Both died of heart attacks. Manner of death was deemed natural. President Cohen, supporter of Barack Obama, Greason had over the years become a written statement, data was in a statement. Phillips, a computer programmer from Ringtown, Pennsylvania, died to a medical emergency because they keeled over during the thing. Roseanne Boylan, accidental overdose because she had a medical emergency in the riot and was crushed by her fellow rioters. But she was also, a month later, DC Medical Examiner released its conclusion. This is what I was talking about with Roseanne Boylan. The drug cited in Boylan's death is addictive and can be prescribed to treat attention deficit disorder and narcolepsy. Acute amphetamine intoxication. So she was jacked up on Adderall, Ritalin. What was it? What was it? Man, okay, they just got this shit. Homicide, natural, resume, acute amphetamine intoxication. Washington Post. Whoop, open a new window. There we go. DC Medical Examiner released cause of death of 4 people who died during Capitol. 4 people, Ashli Babbitt, for death. Okay, Brian Sicknick, the officers who died. Then, where is she? Roseanne Boylan, yeah. Court papers filed by prosecutors in connection said Boylan had been trampled by the mob near the Capitol. In one account, friend tried to carry Boylan across the threshold to police, just as at least 3 police officers were pulled into the crowd and beaten. They were trying to get the cops that they were beating up to resuscitate her. The nerve of these motherfuckers. I mean, it sounds like a federal conspiracy, doesn't it? Let's see. Greece's family, New York Times, going to collapse. Sidewalk on the west side of the Capitol. Father of 5 been talking to his wife on a cell phone at the time. Yeah, they got keeled over and had a heart attack while he was, running stairs or something like that. This is the trampled by the mob story. Battle for West. Terrorist Capitol riot charges reveal details of police attacks. Federal prosecutors say this image from DC body cameras shows Kentucky car dealer Clayton Mullins, 52, in a red circle, dragging police officer by the leg on January 6th. Yeah, by the way, Greg Kelly, fuck you. And then they go through who else, I guess, was. Anyways, you guys get the point. We don't have to relitigate all of January 6th, for fuck's sake. Just, it's funny to me that, Trump doesn't know that 3 other Trump supporters died that day. 2 heart attacks and a drug overdose and a slash trampling.
There was something to do with the FBI. There was something to do with Antifa and others, and it wasn't mentioned. And
no, there wasn't. It was mentioned all the fucking time, and none of it went anywhere. Sorry, Ashli Babbitt. Let's just go with it. Fuck it. Ashli Babbitt was an FBI agent, and she was wearing a squib. The whole thing was a setup, and the reason they gave the cop who shot her a medal was because it was an acting award. It was like the Oscar of CIA FBI plots.
Never been a group of people, I think, with the exception of maybe over the years, a couple of groups were treated pretty harshly, but
what do you mean, the Klan?
Never treated so badly. And
yeah, but who cares? They're all FBI agents and Antifa disguised as diabetic Trump supporters.
As you know, I let them out with pardons. I know you were very happy. I watch your show all the time. You were extremely happy about it. And plenty of other people were too. People don't realize this whole movement that we have is just it's a very inspiring thing, what's happened.
Yeah, people felt, if people had survived Jonestown, they'd probably speak the same way.
These people are incredible people. They were treated so unfairly, so horribly. Some of them didn't even go into the building. And the judge...
Yeah, by the way, a sniper doesn't have to go to a building. I'm just saying. None of the people, we don't have any evidence that the people who built the gallows went into the building. How about the bomber? Did the bomber go into the fucking building? Oh, yeah, it was Ashli Babbitt.
the system, the hate,
Let's just go with it. Hashtag Ashli Babbitt was the Capitol bomber.
the vitriol, the prosecutors, the way they wanted to destroy these people. People would
what was nothing compared to how these people wanted to fucking wear Nancy Pelosi's skull as a hat.
and they'd be so proud to go before court, and they'd have a good lawyer, and they'd walk out of court like devastated the way they were treated.
No, they wouldn't. They spit on the judge, or they would have never gone to jail in the first place. There's tons of video of these motherfuckers attacking cops.
They'd given years in prison.
Yeah, and they deserved it.
Oh, but I took care of them. I said I was going to, and I did.
Yeah. Hashtag, I guess, fuck the police. MAGA. God damn, this is so lame. Yes, and Trump does look terrible and tired. You're absolutely right.